You know, we get chapters like this from time to time. We get moments like this from time to time. But when we get a moment like this, a moment probably as epic as 795, bro. I didn't want to make a video, or I wanted to do some other stuff, but I was like, I gotta talk about the chapter at length, but I want to do it in a way that's not typical to how I normally do it. Of course, when I normally do it, I got a bunch of jump cuts. It's, jumping around, blah, blah. I just want to talk to y'all. I just want to talk to you guys and give you guys my perspective on the chapter and the implications of such. So we're going to just go through it, go through the chapter and just talk about it, give you guys how I felt about the chapter, and just basically fan out a little bit, because I feel like this chapter is warranted. It's warranted. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter, mostly, say this chapter's okay. It wasn't that good. I haven't seen anybody say, I don't understand why you think it's that good. That it's that good. I haven't seen anybody say that. I've seen people say it's okay. And you have a right to your opinion. I'm not coming at you and your opinion. But give us this moment. Let people enjoy the chapter how they want to enjoy the chapter. Again, I haven't seen anybody say this. Say that, why y'all fanboying? I haven't seen that. But I've seen people, a little uneasy. A little uneasy. A lot of people also, 5-7 chapters ago, Wano's trash. I want no parts of Wano. I'm going to catch up another time. And I don't have anybody particular in mind, but I remember seeing it on the timeline. If I could think of somebody that said that right now, I would say a name. But I see it on the timeline a few chapters ago saying Wano is trash. And we were like 5 chapters in. That's kind of, in comparison, I'm not going to go there because I'm going to keep it PG-13 today. I'm not going to go there. But let's just say, going into something early and then saying it's trash 5 chapters in, either you're impatient, you're a fool, or you're a dumbass. And it's a fine line between a fool and a dumbass. I won't get into that right now. But anyway, One Piece chapter 921, guys. I'll talk about the ending towards the end. For right now, I want to talk about the plan. Right? They have a plan to go to Fire Island because they're going to have a banquet to celebrate Kaido being a wise king. There's Orochi, the calamities. Everybody's going to go there. So this reminds me a little bit of Whole Cake Island, in which it's a big thing that's going to happen and they're going to have to crash it. I don't think things are going to go the exact same way. It never does. It never does. In which we see, okay, it's probably going to go like Whole Cake. They're going to run around. They're going to get into some small battles. Then eventually they're going to go on to like the banquet, and then some stuff going to break out. They're going to get captured. And they're going to, nah, it's not going to go like that. One Piece, for what it's worth, has been somewhat unpredictable the past 2 arcs. Past 3 arcs. Looking at Zou, everything that happened on Zou, you couldn't have predicted that. There's no way you could have predicted what happened on Zou. On Zou, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff from Zou, about Zou, in Zou. Not only the poneglyphs, but I'm talking about in regards to what's going on right now. We got more information on the Kozuki clan, the crescents and the moons and all that stuff. We saw that the crescent moon in this chapter is kind of the mark of an ally on your ankle. I had an issue with it because I felt that that's something that's too outward. It's too noticeable. We need a mark that's noticeable, but in some way, it could be like to throw someone off, right? With this mark on your ankle, of course, people wear shoes, so you would have to take everyone's shoes off to know it. But if Kaido or Orochi get wind of what the allies and what the mark is, it is not that difficult to find it. It's on your ankle. You can literally go around and say, everyone take off your left foot. Let me see your ankle to see if you have the mark. If you have the mark, you're going to boil. And I think it would be symbolic in boiling everyone that's still fighting for Oden, because that's how Oden died. That's how you carry on that fear, that legacy of if you mess up, this is what happens to you. That's how you do it. So I'm not sure how I feel about the mark. But in regards to the plan, the battle is going to occur at Onigashima Island, the Demon Island. And of course, based on that, a lot of people came to the conclusion that Kaido was probably an Oni because it's part of a folklore or a story in Japan. And I was rocking with it. I liked the idea. I liked how we tied it together. But we also said Oda takes from stories. He doesn't directly copy everything from said story. Whole Cake Island, we had a bunch of Disney things going on. Bunch of Disney stuff going on. But you couldn't pinpoint exactly where the story was going to go based on knowing a Disney story. Because the story was unpredictable. It went all over the place. Which of course, I love. I love being surprised. I love when a story is unpredictable. I don't like predicting stories. It's fun. It builds up your clout tokens if you get a theory right or you predict what's going to happen. But if it's a general thing, like I know a lot of people were saying, yo, I predicted Kaido's a dragon. Heard it from a lot of people. If you said it, cool. I'm not going to knock what you predicted. As far as the level of prediction, it's probably low tier. Because it wasn't a stretch to say Kaido was a dragon. One of the questions people asked, how did he get to Sky Island? That's the first thing people asked. People assumed he could fly. And there are other symbolic things that were there to kind of hint towards Kaido being connected to dragons. What Kinemon said on Punk Hazard, in which he said he hated dragons. He has a problem with dragons. When he found out that Kaido was actually over Wano with Orochi, one could draw the conclusion Orochi or Kaido are either of them, one of them, could be a dragon. When we found out Oden got boiled, people asked the question, how did you boil him? You got a big life-sized bowl. How did you heat it up? People wanted to know those things. They said maybe they have a dragon. Maybe one of them maybe one of them is a dragon. This chapter kind of revealed that, who the dragon is. Now that's another thing on social media. It's tough to dodge a chapter like this because of how hype it is. Of course, the chapter is called Shutenmaru, and we're going to get to that. But dodging spoilers after a chapter of this magnitude is tough. I'll say this, guys. If you have not read the chapter, unless you're going to react with someone, or honestly, I don't know. Stay away from Twitter, especially if you follow a lot of like One Piece YouTubers or Anitubers, because stuff is going to get retweeted and posted, and you're going to get spoiled, and you're not going to enjoy the chapter the same way. Just not going to happen. I've tried it. There's times where I go on Twitter, I'm like, I don't want to see it. I'm off Twitter. I'm off, because I don't want to get spoiled. I want to enjoy this. And chapter 921 is a chapter that I would like for everyone to enjoy, because that's how good it was. It's a great chapter. Again, back to their plans. Decisive battle, Onigashima Island. They mentioned that they need a full-scale ship to get there, but they already have a ship. The Allies already have a ship, so that's something that's good. I predict that the ship is probably going to get destroyed in some way, and they're going to have to find another way over there. That's what I expect. Oda tells us things sometimes for it to kind of be broken. We know this plan, right? Oda went deep into this plan because he wanted to show us, okay, they're strategizing. They have a plan as far as like how they intend to achieve these things. It's going to fall apart. But I don't mind that because in a way that mirrors life. In life, we have plans. We have ways in which we want to do things and how we want to go about things. Yo, I'm going to get up at 9. I'm going to take a shower, brush my teeth, eat, leave the house by 10, go to the grocery store, leave there by 11:30. We don't wake up till 11. Then what? We go straight to the grocery store? No, you got to adjust. The Straw Hats, for a lot of the things that we say about them, have been able to adjust every single time. Forget the plot. They've been able to adjust to multiple situations. So with this, we know the plan, so it's going to fall apart. They consider Kaido a wise king. So that just tells us the perception of Kaido. But to a certain group, everybody doesn't perceive the ruler of Wano a wise king because everyone isn't happy in Wano. The people that are happy, they can say that because they're eating, they're happy, they're well fed, they have a good place to live. The people that are starving, who's about to kill their child, kill themselves, they don't think Kaido's a wise king. And then that goes back to perspective and as far as it depends on what side you're on. I think this tells us that Kaido has a bunch of followers that care for him. But like Kinemon and how they were stating, there are a bunch of people that are against him as well. The ideal number is 5,000. People were saying that the fleet could be necessary. I don't think so. The number of people that they have with them that should already be there and people that are coming, they should have 5,000 men, women, and children. When I say women and children, I include the Minks because they're a warrior race. Everyone is powerful. The Minks are coming. The samurai that are the allies are coming. I don't think Luffy's grand fleet needs to come. It would seem like overkill to bring the fleet against one Yonko. I don't think it's necessary yet. And like we talked about before, the fleet didn't come when Luffy was getting bombarded and just demolished by Katakuri. That's the closest he's been to death that we know of in the New World. The closest. Pre-time skip, you can talk about the Ivankov stuff, Marineford. He's been in dire situations. Post-time skip, that's the worst we see in Luffy. I'm not sure how people feel about me rambling right now and just giving you my thoughts on the chapter, but this is literally how I feel about every chapter. Not every chapter, but after every chapter, I sit down, I collect my thoughts. I talk about the chapter. It's typically 30 minutes long, but I cut it down to like 12, 13 minutes because I don't want to kill people. I don't want to overwhelm people with how I'm thinking. But then I realized what's wrong with letting people know how I feel, how I think. So this is everything. Spitballing. Throwing everything out there. We talked about a bit of the chapter, but I'm going to get more into it. But this is typically how I go through the chapters because I think about it page by page. Because I'm trying to tie it together. Again, when it's unpredictable, I love it. A lot of people love One Piece for what it brings to them, for what it affords them. They have to do it. They have to love it. Or the friends they have. They talk about One Piece because most of their friends talk about One Piece. They don't love it the same. They don't care about it. And that's fine. But when you don't care about something, don't try to steal someone else's joy. Let the person love what they love. A lot of people still love One Piece. A lot of people like One Piece. Some people don't like One Piece anymore, and that's fine. But me, I look forward to every chapter, and I look forward to discussing it with my friends. 100%. I look forward to the comments. I look forward to it all because One Piece, for me, is an experience. And moments like this, I bask in, and I enjoy them because I'm like, yo, look at the love. Look at the community right now. That's all people are talking about. Forget all them other series that's coming up. Shout out to them. But right now, people are talking about One Piece. Even if your favorite series is something else, you put that on the back burner because right now you got to talk about One Piece. Again, no knock to the other series. I love some of the other series. Haikyuu, My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter. And Hunter x Hunter, if it was more consistent, would be my favorite series. But One Piece, that's my love. I love One Piece. I do. Random tangent, but I don't know. That's just how I was feeling at the time. But anyway, we can continue to Sanji in this chapter. This chapter, a few people in discussion talked about how they had issues with Sanji's, how he was acting, how he's going about things. He said he's a bit obnoxious, too much. Why? Why is that too much? Why? From the beginning of One Piece, if there are beautiful women around in revealing outfits or just a random beautiful woman, Sanji's going to fan out. He's going to have his jokes. He's going to talk about what he's thinking. That was Sanji this chapter. Why do we have a problem now? And of course, a lot of these guys are my friends. So it's like, for me to say, I'm not shitting on them as far as their opinion. I respect it wholeheartedly. And of course, some of them gave their explanations as far as like, I felt like it was too much. And keep it a buck. Whole Cake Island has left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. A lot of people still like, I don't know. Sanji, he just didn't do it for me in Whole Cake. And they're waiting for him to redeem himself. So for him going back right into his quirk and how he does things, it's like, I'm cool on you until you prove to me that you deserve to be a straw hat. Extreme. Extreme. That's how they feel. You can't tell somebody how to feel. That's just how they feel. Right? Anyway, I don't have a problem with Sanji's chapter. I thought the gags were just, it went well. With saying, no, Kiku, should you fall in love with me? Thinking about Robin, seeing Nami in the Kunoichi suit. Gold. The Kinemon stuff. How Kinemon went about it. Clean. We saw the other Kunoichi come out. She dressed down in ninja clothing. Nami got on this skimpy, revealing, not sure what that was. Kinemon's like, yo, that's we got two types of Kunoichi after Nami slapped the shit out of him. Two types of Kunoichi. Gold. Comedy. You love that in One Piece. As far as when Kinemon got into details talking about it's going to be at the Habu port when the twilight comes on the night of the fire festival, symbolized by the two firebirds on top of the Habu pit viper. And then he talked about the will of the rebellion and the crescent. I was like, come on, bro. You're saying too much shit right now. I'm not going to remember this 3 chapters from now. So we're going to have to come back to 921 to remember exactly what he's talking about. Of course, this is important stuff. I was cool on it at the time. Of course, I mentioned the mark of the rebellion before and how easy that is to see. And how Kinemon kind of dispatched everyone or stationed everyone in the capital for different reasons. Frankie, he's trying to obtain the blueprints of from the man who built Kaido's residence. Robin, she's trying to get in good with Orochi by tracking the movements of his army. Right? So we're going to use Brook to secure the food from the capital. They said Nami's techniques are pretty much ninjutsu. So he's making use of all the Straw Hats by using their strengths, right? And you got to love that because, I mean, everybody's going to have a purpose and a role in Wano. Again, the skimpy outfits, Sanji reacted to it. I think Kinemon proves he's a pervert. What was also interesting is that Kinemon talked about samurai that we must find. He said there's 3 samurai in particular that we must find. Said they're worth 100 men each. Kawamatsu, Denjiro, and Ashura Doji. I'll give my thoughts on Ashura Doji when we get to Shutenmaru. He said in the past there were samurai who served Lord Odin. They should be alive. Now, for me, when you hear that, samurai that served Lord Odin, 3 of them, you think about someone at the top. And in One Piece, typically they have 3 people serving them. 3 generals. Those are his generals. I expected those guys to be the top samurai in Wano. Maybe a few outliers on Orochi's side. On our side, these are going to be the top 3 samurai. Save Zoro. Let's leave Zoro out. These 3, those are the guys. Kawamatsu, Denjiro, Ashura Doji. Can't wait to see these guys. We got a veteran Kunoichi, Shinobu. Thick jaunt. Short. Says she knows the art of bewitchment. Thought it was funny. Where it's like, a lot of the people that are going to be a part of this alliance, they're older because they've been waiting for a long time. She still knows her stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it's going to tie into Raizo and his woman. Probably. But we'll see. Another interesting thing. We find out that Kinemon is actually married to Otsuru. So she's been waiting for 20 years for Kinemon. And Okiku said Otsuru didn't even recognize her. Which then I go back to Otama. Okiku, is it possible that you did not recognize Otama? No. Now I'm like, no. For Otsuru, it's been 2 decades. For Okiku, it's been a few months. That's different. If you don't recognize somebody after a few months, what's wrong with you? Shutenmaru pulls up to where Luffy gave the villagers all that food. He left the food saying, this is going to be the norm going forward. I promise you that. Shutenmaru pulls up with his guys. They're taking everything. Shutenmaru, he pulls up on like an ox. He's laying down. He's the Atamayama thieves leader. And Shutenmaru, how he'd been played up. They played him up like he was a savior. Like he was a good guy. An ally. He's coming and he's stealing from the people. When I first saw it, it didn't really resonate. I'm like, this isn't a good guy. He's not. From what he's doing to the things that he's saying, he's not a good guy. That's how I felt. I'm not sure everybody else felt, but that's how I felt. Off rip, that's how I felt. So I tried not to focus on what I was seeing, but focus on what he's saying. A lot of times you see something and you're turned off. I don't even care what you got to say. I'm turned off. But Shutenmaru said, there are no longer any samurai left to protect these pitiful weaklings. This country no longer has any real men that strong samurai can follow anymore. The Wano country's days are numbered. Isn't that right, Granny? Even if you continue to live, you will only witness the cruel truth. Based on what he's saying. What that tells me is that that's a man that's hurt. That more men didn't pick up their swords to fight with him. He's lost faith in the people. Not in Wano, in the people. He's still in Wano. He's strong enough to be the leader of the thieves while occupied by Kaidou. can leave if he wants to. But he's still in Wano. So as far as him not believing in the people, fine. He still believes in his country. He's going about still surviving in his country. So from that, you're like, honor. Some honor. But then you think about, is there honor amongst thieves? He's a thief. He's a thief. He's the leader of the thieves. But there's something there about him. Grandma doesn't move. I'm going to kill her now. Most killers, they kill without saying anything. He was doing that to test their heart. He was also testing her heart. He wasn't going to kill her. I don't believe that. He walked up to her and she said, I believe in Lady Otoki's final words. He said, but she's a dead person. 9 Samurai would definitely carry out Lord Orden's wishes. And you could tell how he's still feeling. Yo, without a general, who gonna lead them? If you were about to kill this person, her saying that should not even matter. Boom, it's done. Doesn't do it. Why doesn't he do it? That's not the type of time he's on. He's actually trying to find men that can still fight with him. That's his goal. Of course, stealing from people, it's like, that's the front. Because you don't want to admit when there's something close to you that you just can't give up on. You don't want to let other people know. That's your weakness. Wano is your weakness. The people, you're disappointed. They let you down. That's how you feel. That's how I felt about Shutenmaru. That's how I feel about him now. Especially in hindsight. Especially in hindsight. But looking at it again, it's all there. Brilliant writing. Coincidence? I think not. Not 921 chapters later. All those context clues are there to tell us that Shutenmaru, this guy, fuck was that? This guy, he hasn't given up. So, Shutenmaru, of course, doesn't kill her. Jack shows up. You know, Jack is a figure in the community that he's on a high pedestal. Is it for good reason? I can't even say that. I can't even say it's for good reason because Jack has done some shit in which it hasn't produced results. Let's go down the line. Jack 1. He was supposed to find Raizo. Went, decimated Zou, cut limbs off, no result. Could not find Raizo. Failed. Ultimately failed. Second, went to retrieve Doflamingo. Of course, Sengoku, Fujitora, what's my girl? Tsuru. They're all there. But I can't let you off the hook after you engage. If you go into a fight, if there's 3 people there and you swing on all 3 and all 3 beat your ass, I can't feel sorry for you because you swung first. If they attacked you, I'm like, come on, 3-on-1, but you swung first. Do you get kudos for surviving? Yeah. But am I going to praise you for going after 3 admirals? Not thinking? And then ultimately failing? No. Luffy at Marineford, they said, I praise your tenacity for getting to this spot in front of Kizaru, Aokiji, and Akainu. I praise your tenacity, but this stage is way too big for you. You're not ready. Blitz past Kizaru, bang. He's still right there. You praise the tenacity of someone like that because of how low his level was at the time. Jack is a commander. You can't praise tomfoolery. That was stupid. But it's stupid when you die, it's savage when you live. That's how the world works. Somebody does something stupid, gets out of it, man, he was a savage. You were a savage for doing that. He dies, you're a fool. Kaido said as much about Doflamingo. Said he was a weakling because he lost. Losing doesn't make you weak. How you lose does. Sometimes you can win and still be weak. How do you win? I don't think the result is it's not about the result most times. Sometimes it's about the process. How'd you do it? Luffy versus Katakuri. It split the community. He got the W. What was the process? How'd it happen? They don't align. That's why everybody ain't rocking with it. Doflamingo versus Luffy. It didn't necessarily split the community, but people were like, most people I spoke with, yeah, Dofi's still stronger. Because how'd it happen? And in One Piece, there's a lot of moments like that in which we question how things happened. One, because we don't know. Two, it's always something in the middle of it. But I digress. Jack pulls up. Interesting dialogue between Jack and Shutenmaru, because at this point, you assume that Shutenmaru is on the back foot. Because Jack is a calamity. Impressive guy. Fought 2 dukes for 5 days while they were switching in and out. Attacked 3 admirals. Survived. Went back to Zou. Got demolished by an island. Survived. This guy's a beast. Literally a beast. He pulled up on him. Asked about Luffy. I don't know him. Will that change your attitude? Bruh. You're only alive because you're going to be our subordinate. Then here's my answer, nigga. Slash. Jack gets cut, bleeding from the mouth. What do you do? In the community, it's like, what? Jack? Who is this guy? Then after that, he says, don't underestimate the samurai. You gave up on those people. You said there's nobody to lead these people. But you didn't give up on what you believe in. The samurai. Honor. Belief. This man still has will. This man still has the strength to attack and injure a calamity of a Yonko. In one panel, the perspective of Shutenmaru was altered almost permanently. Of course, until the next chapter, until we find out more. But almost permanently and immediately, people went to, oh, Jack is now trash. This Shutenmaru guy is the GOAT. Somewhere in the middle. I don't think Jack is trash. But I think at this point, not only with portrayal, because he's portrayed to be very strong, but with results, he has none. He doesn't have any results. And the ending of this chapter kind of confirmed how we felt about Jack's results. When you don't produce results, at some point, somebody else has to step in. If I'm continuously sending you on missions and you're continuously failing, either I shouldn't send you on these missions anymore, or I have to send somebody else, or do it myself. I need results. That's what I need. We weren't getting those. So, Jack, bleeding from the mouth. Jack's like, yo, how dare you? He's a calamity. You don't expect to get attacked like that in a country you're occupying, in which you probably hadn't been challenged in a long ass time. This is 20 years later. How many people you think attacked Jack like that? Not very many. Not very many. So this was new. I'm presuming some time passed. Because they said, what an incredibly high level duel. Do you say that after one clash? I don't think so. I think a bit of time passed where they had a few clashes. Then they're like, whoa. This shit is high level. There's no way to kind of tell the passing of time other than injuries, and can't really tell. So with this fight, Jack and Shutenmaru, they start to fight, and Shutenmaru says some more things that's profound. I didn't die back then, so there's no way a small fry like you can take me down. Call Jack a small fry. Signifies age, wisdom. How long you been around, Shutenmaru? Wait. Silhouette looks a lot, like very familiar. Shutenmaru is more than likely Ashura Doji. Looking at versus Oden, the outline, and the outline that Kinemon gave when he talked about the three samurai. More than likely, Shutenmaru is Ashura Doji. And he's searching for people to stand and fight with him. Honor came right back around full circle. Love that. Another thing that I kind of skipped over a little bit. When he cut Jack, we saw rose petals everywhere. Have you seen this before? Could be a correlation. Could be coincidence. Just had the same technique. Flower Vista. This could be his master. I assume Shutenmaru is pretty old. Pretty old. This could be his master. Vista was hanging with Mihawk. Pretty skilled swordsman. As far as Mihawk in comparison to this guy, I'm not ready to go there. When I'll do a how strong is Shutenmaru right now video, then I'll talk about that. Right now, with Vista, he could have been his protege. Possibly. We don't know. But that's something that I thought was interesting. Now, with all that happening, we get to the end of the chapter, and someone mentioned that how Kaidou came from the sky. Did he open a portal? Can Kaidou go through portals? But then it's like, if he can do that, he should have done that and pull up Marineford. I don't think he can do that. I think it's just a sheer him coming down, or just the power, the strength, the presence of a conqueror. Ripples in the sky. Jack's like, why? Law's seen this before. Law told Luffy, yo, you gotta come inside. Come over here, bro. Everybody's shook. Shutenmaru, the people, obviously Luffy. Law's like, that's Kaido. Kaido pulls up with a full dragon form, Chinese dragon, cloak, clothes, everything. What do you do? What are you doing? Where are you going? How are you facing that? How are you surviving? Understandable now why someone like Jack would follow Kaido. He's a beast. Literally. That is not something you overcome with will alone. You must be skilled. You must be strong. Luffy's not ready for Kaido. No one is saying this, but I'm just saying this to reiterate what you already know. He's not ready for this guy, which goes with our original prediction that Luffy isn't the only one that's going to be able to take him down. You think about Kaido in this form, I think it's more intimidating than his regular form, but his regular form is just as intimidating as well. Kaido is a problem. I'm not mad at Kid. I was never mad at Kid. I knew what Kaido was and what he had the potential to be. Seeing it like this, it's like, yeah. Kid, that took some balls for you to stand up to this guy. in the face of this, if he ever got to this. He's trash for being brave or for being foolish. That's another thing. I mentioned being a fool earlier. So, two sides to it. So, yeah. As far as Kaido, what happens next? They're going to have to run away. Kaido may capture one person, maybe Shutenmaru, who I think is Ashura Doji. Then they're going to have to go get him. But no one is fighting Kaido right now. Or we may cut away. Either way, this reveal, top 3 in One Piece ever. That's why it's so amazing. Top 3 in One Piece ever. I wish people didn't put Kaido in the title so people could like assume who it was. Just put someone there. Put the dragon. Don't put the name in the title. People are like, oh shit, it's Dragon. Dragon showed up on Wano? What? Don't put the entire thing. Just put a small thing. Amazing chapter. Amazing chapter. I been thinking about this chapter all day. And I think that this chapter, I mean, as far as hype, I mean, come on. Fantastic. Quality. Fantastic. Because we didn't just get hype. We got information as far as how things are going to go down. A lot of people overlooked that. A lot of people didn't care about that because it's like, we just saw Kaido, bro. I want to talk about Kaido. I don't care about Onigashima, the Fire Festival, the Crescent Moon, the Viper Pit. I don't care about that. I care about Kaido and how hype he looks. How fire that design is. I understand it. That's what I cared about too. But don't call the chapter all hype when we got that information. Context to break down Shutenmaru and just everything as a whole. Amazing chapter. So, let me know your thoughts on the chapter below. How do you feel about it? Leave your entire thoughts because I'm doing a video in which I'm going to go through I'm going to record myself reading the theories of the video of this chapter. How you feel about it. This chapter warrants several videos and I'm going to give it to you guys. Leave your thoughts below. Leave them below. Don't forget to like. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this because depending how people feel about my candid thoughts over 30 minutes long, I'll continue doing it with minimal editing. Just giving my thoughts out there. Let me know. As usual, I appreciate all the support. Had 1,100 people watching the stream last night. Of course, that's not the most I've had because I've hosted the Reverie before we hit like 3K. But a regular chapter with my guys, with me, 1,200 is, or 1,100. I think we did hit 1,200. Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Peace.